All right, let's talk about one of the most chillingly prophetic novels ever written, Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. It paints this picture of a society that isn't controlled by fear, but by something much, much sneakier: pleasure. Seriously, just think about that for a second. What if you could live your whole life, from the day you're born to the day you die, without a single moment of pain or worry or grief? A world where happiness isn't something you chase, it's just guaranteed. And that's the seductive promise at the heart of Huxley's world state. It's a society that's achieved perfect stability by basically getting rid of everything that makes us human and messy. Things like family, art, real love, and yeah, even suffering. But of course, there's always a catch, right? Every perfect paradise has a price tag. And that's the real question Huxley wants us to ask. What is the true cost of having perfect, manufactured contentment handed to you? To really get what this world is all about, we have to rewind to when Huxley was writing back in the 1930s. It was a time of absolute chaos. People were still reeling from the horror of World War I, and then bam, the Great Depression hits. Society was just desperate for order, and Huxley saw how that desperation could pave the way for a brand new and frankly terrifying kind of stability. And you can see right here how all the pieces just fell into place for him. First, the trauma of war creates this huge demand for order at any cost. Then Huxley goes to America and sees the future: mass production, consumerism, and it's all built on Henry Ford's assembly line. He has this light bulb moment. What if you could apply the assembly line not just to cars, but to people? By the time the Depression hits, the idea of trading in your messy freedom for guaranteed stability, well, it starts to sound pretty tempting. And right in that moment, Brave New World is born. So how in the world does this society actually work? Well, it's not run by presidents or prime ministers. It's managed like a super efficient factory. It's literally a human assembly line, designed from the ground up to produce predictable, happy, and totally obedient citizens. And it all starts before you're even born. It starts right here, with something called the Bokanovsky process. This is the biological engine of the whole world's state. Forget about natural birth. In this world, human beings are literally mass-produced in hatcheries. It's all about creating uniformity and stamping out that pesky, unpredictable thing called individuality. And this number? Wow. It just shows you the insane scale of it all. 96. Up to 96 identical humans from a single egg. This isn't about creating people. It's about manufacturing standardized parts for the social machine, especially for the lower castes who are destined to do the same boring job day in and day out for their entire lives. So once these babies are, well, they're decanted, not born, the conditioning starts, and it never stops. Their most powerful tool? Hypnopedia, or sleep teaching. It's brilliant in a scary way. It just bypasses your conscious mind and whispers the state's rules directly into your brain while you sleep. Little slogans like "ending is better than mending" become absolute, unquestionable truths you live your whole life by. But what if, just what if, a little negative thought somehow gets through all that conditioning? Well, that's where Soma comes in. It's the ultimate chill pill, a government-made drug that's basically a holiday from reality. Why would you ever rebel or question anything or even feel sad when you can just take a little tablet and float away on a cloud of mindless bliss? So when you lay it all out, you can see how perfectly these pieces lock together. It's a complete system of control. The biology creates identical people. The psychology programs their minds. The chemistry handles any leftover bad feelings. And it's all designed to fuel an economy that demands you constantly buy new things. It is a completely closed loop. There's no way out. But, and this is a huge but, this perfectly stable world comes at a mind-boggling cost. And that brings us right to the beating heart of the novel, this epic battle between the comfort of a golden cage and the messy, chaotic beauty of real freedom. And here is the system's entire philosophy, laid out by one of the men in charge, World Controller Mustafa Mond. For him, the choice is obvious. Things like art and truth and deep passion, they're just messy. They cause problems. They make people unhappy. But guaranteed happiness for everyone? Now that keeps the factory of society running smoothly. It's the ultimate argument for the greater good, right?
And this chart just lays the two sides out plain as day. On one side, you've got the state's values: stability, comfort, efficiency, no pain. And on the other, you have the values of the outsider, John the Savage: freedom, danger, poetry, and get this, even the right to be unhappy. It's a choice between a painless, sterile life or the wild, unpredictable, but meaningful adventure of being fully human.
And this is John's powerful, defiant cry. He looks at their perfect, sanitized paradise and completely rejects it. He wants the whole human experience: the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, because he knows you can't have real joy without knowing real pain. He claims it all. This right here is the novel's ultimate defense of humanity in all its flawed, wonderful glory. Okay, so let's remember, all of this was dreamed up way back in 1932. So why on earth does it still feel so familiar? This is where the book stops being a story and starts feeling like a prophecy, forcing us to ask a really tough question about our own world. Are we controlled by force or by distraction? This, of course, brings us to that classic comparison with George Orwell's 1984. Orwell saw a future of control through pain and fear, Big Brother watching your every move, a boot stamping on a human face forever. But Huxley, he saw something way more subtle. He saw a future where we are controlled by the things we love, by pleasure, by entertainment, a world where we aren't beaten into obedience, we're seduced into it. And you have to ask, which one looks more like our world today? So what is our Soma? I mean, really, is it the endless fire hose of content from streaming services? Is it that hypnotic, never-ending scroll on our social media feeds? Is it the constant pressure from consumer culture telling us that the next purchase is the one that will finally make us happy? Are these the things that keep us so pleasantly distracted that we don't have time to ask the big, difficult questions anymore? And that leads us to the final, haunting question Huxley leaves rattling around in our heads. He wasn't just warning us about some evil government out there. He was warning us about ourselves, about our own deep, deep desire for comfort and distraction, and how easily we might trade away real freedom for an easy life. The question isn't about them, it's about us. Have we been so entertained, so medicated, so distracted, that we've actually learned to love the things that keep us in chains?